We picked our way through the settling dust while the adepts did something deeply meaningful to a wall panel with a screwdriver and a prayer. Server, the slender one with the talent for prizing open things that wanted to stay shut, found a cassette behind fused plating. It bled cold green when he woke it. Thin, insectile lines danced across its face and mapped themselves onto the torn schematic of 6B in his other hand. Tunnels overlaid tunnels, until the mine looked like a skull with circuits. Ancient signals, he breathed. Waking patterns. Amberley would like me to point out at this juncture that operational secrecy requires the suppression of certain details. I defer to her better judgment in this and many other matters. The floor thrummed then, a bass note so low that my bones tried to resonate with it. Every shaving of rust, every iron filament, every loose nail began to lift and drift down, drawn toward the depths as if gravity had changed its mind about directions. That, I said, is the sound of things we broke, deciding to break us back. I keyed my vox. All units, advance to phase line A. Jürgen, bless him, looked pleased. Phase line A is the landing pad, sir. How fortunate, I said. We withdrew in good order, by which I mean we did not scream or run in circles, past a section of corridor that had been sterile an hour before, and now twitched like skin knitting over a wound. Scarab scraps stitched themselves into panels as we watched. The grate that barred our shortcut remembered its duty and refused to move. Jürgen obligingly melted it. Heat shimmered, paint cried, and the bars sagged like remorse. Beyond lay a long chamber that would have been an ossuary if its occupants had ever been alive. Neat piles of metal lay arranged with the care of a fastidious butcher. Spines, armatures, mask-like skulls in rows. Someone had taken great trouble to dismantle things that did not want to remain dismantled. In my experience, that is an excellent sign that you should go away. Good news, I said. They took the trouble to fall apart first. Bad news. They did it neatly. Amberley's note appears in the margin here to reassure the nervous that the next passage has been edited for clarity, sanity, and morale. I am grateful. I was there, and I still prefer the expurgated version. A severed arm moved. It did not jerk like a reflex. It searched, like a hand in the dark. Fingers spidered. A torso nearby pivoted on the notched cylinder of its spine. Scarabs stitched and restitching. Rivets made of hunger. Cold light woke in empty eyes a heartbeat at a time. Green kindling in a grave. Jürgen, I said. Sir? On 3, I said. Pretend we planned this. The creature that found itself was tall enough to look me in the eye while standing in a hole. Armor plates slid into place, as if remembering a promise. Its weapon, an obscene length of ribbed metal that offended me merely by existing, whined in a register that made my teeth itch. It smelled like tomb air and the first moments of surgery. I do not frighten easily. I am, after all, a rational man who prefers to live. But there is a particular sort of horror that only the inhuman achieves, when you realize you are not merely irrelevant to the world's plan. You are extraneous. It looked at me, not around me, at me, as if I had been penciled into a ledger and found wanting. My chainsword had behaved that day as chainswords do, which is to say it preferred to be asleep until woken by violence. I planted my heel on the starter and kicked. 3, I said. The teeth came alive in a spitting snarl of metal on metal, the sound of a butcher sharpening his argument. Jürgen set his feet beside me. Meltergun lowered the barest degree, the pilot a patient bead. If his anti-psyker aura had any effect on living metal, I did not perceive it. If it did nothing else, it cleared the air around us of anything with a nose. "On your word, sir," he said. The Immortal, a name I learned later and disliked at once, drew its weapon's breath. "Now," I said, because I have learned that men take courage from the sound of a voice pretending to know what it is doing, particularly when that voice is mine. "Let's see if gravity is still hiring." I have upon occasion been accused, unfairly, of underplaying my own contributions to the survival of those around me. Amberley claims it is false modesty. I assure you it is accuracy. The best thing I did in the next 5 seconds was to be standing next to Jürgen. But that is for another chapter.